Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to have a 1v1 on, you guessed it, Semoskiy Winter. Our heroes today are going to be IIEXITIIIAdadis, playing for the Soviets. And his opponent today is going to be SturmTigerNeff, playing for the Germans. So once again, this is from the Sunday Night Fights Season 5 tournament, round of 128, and that is why they're all in the same map. A little bit about the players. The ranks are pretty dead even, I would actually say, in this matchup, so hopefully it'll be a good one. Neff is ranked on the 300s for his German play, and Adadis is also ranked on the 300s for his Soviet play. So, yeah, pretty cool. Hopefully it'll be a nice, intense match. Seating-wise, it's not the same. It's 34 for Neff and 95 for Adadis, so a little bit of a disparity there, but I guess it shouldn't matter much. And yeah, that's pretty much all we have to say there. So, let's open this up over here, get a better view. There we go. Okay, we can mention that Neff has gotten himself his doctrine already, and that is the Assault Support Doctrine, which means he has, well, something in mind. We do see the standard, or the usual, which is having somebody run to this house, whether it be the southern or northern player. In this case, it is Neff. We see that Adadis is not actually even sending anything to this side of the map, so Neff just simply walks out of the house and starts capping the fuel. Neff got himself his tier 1, which is what you would expect, and getting himself Grenadiers from there. Third squad from tier 1, however, is going to be an MG42, so no Gren spam this time. For Adadis, we see no tech, just conscripts as you would expect. Third conscript is about to hit the field in a second, and pop goes the conscript. There it goes. And we can probably expect Molotovs as the next upgrade. I mean, it is what people usually go for. Does have the resources for it right now and hasn't actually started upgrading, so we'll see if that comes into play. Capping wise, Adadis is focusing on the left hand side of the map, and we're finally going to see an engagement up north, and that is a conscript squad going to run into a Grenadier, or well, the other way around, Grenadiers running into conscripts, but it is two Grenadier squads at the same time. Very nice little, well, flank there by Neff, sending two at the same time from different angles, forcing away those conscripts. The conscripts are running away. Looks like they're going to jump into the house, so they will at least be able to delay and deny this territory for a while for Neff, but Neff will be able to capture the fuel point quite easily and just simply move along. Center map, conscripts capture territory, and we actually see that Adadis didn't actually get himself the Molotov on the third conscript. He went instead for a fourth conscript squad, and I'm assuming we'll be getting his Molotov after that. Center map, conscripts trying to Ura into the house. The Grenadiers actually beat them to it this time, so they run themselves to the other side of the wall and will start firing at the Grens there. Grens are surrounded by two conscript squads, both conscript squads getting themselves into heavy cover against them, while one is very nicely positioned here, able to capture the point at the same time that they're fighting. And the Grens in the house actually already suffered one loss. Even though they are in the house, they're going to take a while to get out of there, but Molotovs are getting produced, and we can expect to see a Molotov popping right now. And there we go, Molotovs pop, Molotov getting wind up, and gets tossed into the house, getting on top of those Grenadiers, and the Grens have to evacuate the house. They run a little bit in front of their conscript squad and decide to move on to the north and dodge it that way. Up north, we see the Gren squad also taking another Molotov to the face. One of the conscripts ended up burning alive because of it. 2-3, the two-man Gren squad will actually win that fight if not supported. There is a combat engineer squad a little bit further up north there, but the conscript squad is down to 2 men outside of the capture point and ends up retreating. Gren squad for Neff also did end up retreating itself, down to 2 men, and the MG42 for Neff is sitting on the fuel point down south, not being used actively to fight, but he is wanting to secure that position as long as he can. Up north, we see the Grenadier squad ends up retreating, in the face of conscripts, and the 2-man conscript squad did make it out alive just as well. In front of Neff's base, we see a conscript squad trying to go for the cutoff, but with a Grenadier squad coming out of his base, Neff manages to push it away and just continue along his way. So heavy investment into tier 1 for Neff. Not that heavy, but you know, usually you would expect probably around 4 units and then taking up to tier 2. We see Neff instead getting himself a 5th squad, being another Grenadier squad. So little bit of a grand spam with an MG42 tossed in there to mix it up. MG42 just being used for, like I said, securing position. Conscript running to that MG42, run up and gonna throw a Molotov into this corner. This corner will do some damage to Grens inside, but the MG42 itself is on the further window, meaning that it is not actually gonna die, and it doesn't even look like anybody inside the house will die. Forcing away that conscript squad, so a little bit of a loss there for Adidas, but nothing too significant. Center map, Grens capturing territory, followed up by more Grens. And conscripts are pouring all over into the center. We have conscripts a little bit to the north running into that house. We have a conscript squad coming down south, but it looks like it's again going to the house. One man did end up dying to that Molotov in the fuel. Molotov goes in. This time it's gonna land right on top of the units. You can see them burning inside the house. In an inferno, down goes one of the guys, and the gunner packs up and is gonna exit the house. Barely making it out alive himself. So very nice Molotov there by Adidas, forcing away that MG42. And it is gonna make it out alive even though it's running through the heavy snow. There is a Grand squad coming up to support it, but Adidas will be able to capture that point. Center map, Grens taking position in buildings, Pioneers also in heavy cover, fighting against a conscript there that is just being, well, annoying for the most part. Conscript squad pushing up for Adidas, and we now have tier 2 on the field for Neff, and he got himself the half-track as the first unit. Half-track probably getting itself upgraded with flamethrowers, which will hit Adidas units like a flaming truck. Molotov landing on the Grens dodge that quite nicely. Conscripts continue to push on forward, and they're gonna get themselves out of that point, while the other one comes in to, what do you call, rally? Or, I forget what you say in English. Relevar, it is, I don't know. Anyways, flamethrower does get upgraded on the flamethrower half-track, and conscripts get burned alive, retreating down to 2 men, toss a Molotov on the Grens, which forces them to move, so that conscript squad actually makes it out alive. Conscripts in the center, fighting against Grens. Molotovs going into the church, forcing those Grens to evacuate. And the Grens are getting pummeled by those conscripts. Down to 2 men as they go back into the church. Gonna take another Molotov to the face. Down goes one Grens, and the last one gets burned alive inside the church. Half-track pushing out, pushing into the center, getting those flamethrowers into effect. And forces away the conscript squads. Pretty much all of them are going to have to retreat. One full man conscript squad is trying to dodge it, but half-track continues to pursue, burning them alive, and all the conscripts for Adidas are now off of the field. Adidas. Adadis, sorry. It's a little bit too similar to that, but yeah. Neff in a commanding position right now. He did lose one Grand Squad in the church, so a little bit of a loss there for him. But he did manage to rout all of Adadis' forces out of the map. Adadis getting himself tier 2 and then into tier 3. With tier 2, it allowed him to get the AT gun, which is currently heading into the field, which could potentially pick out that half-track if Adadis lands a nice 18-8, but he doesn't have the 18-8 currently researched, and I don't think he's actually going to research that, considering that he got himself tier 3 already. I'm pretty sure he's going to be waiting to get probably a T-70 out on the field. Opal Blitz up north for Neff, she's getting more resources, and we also see the doctrine for Adadis, and that is the shock motor heavy tactics, which means he will be able to get himself the ISU. Well, you know, potentially. But for the meantime, he can get himself some chocolates if he wants to. So conscripts pushing across the river, staying back a little bit, just shooting at Grens and houses. Conscripts pushing up, gonna probably throw a Molotov on that point. Unfortunately, the conscript is not in range of the point, so it means that Adadis is not gonna go to connect the point right away. A little bit of a misclick there for him, I suppose. And the half-track pushes forward, burning alive that conscript squad down to 2 men, needs to retreat quite immediately. But the half-track actually pulls back because it notices that there is an AT gun nearby. MG42 now actually set up in the church, so it's in a little bit more of an active position. Even though it's not moving around in the field, it is able to get in the main fight at least and be useful. Shock troops getting called in for Adadis. Flamethrower half-track across the river, burning alive those conscripts. The conscripts still do not have 18-8s because, like we mentioned, or like I said earlier, it looks like Adadis is wanting to get something out of his tier 3 right away since he already built it. AT gun on the river, taking shots at piles, garrisoning that building. And we now see Adadis finally recapping that point after mispositioning or misclicking, I guess, with his conscripts and not being sufficiently in range. Shock troops push forward. They're probably going to throw a grenade into that house while the AT gun is not actually shooting the house. One of those shock troops actually gets burned alive. And a nade goes down on the grenadiers. Very nice, killing one of them, but with the flamethrower half-track to support, they'll be able to reinforce on the field, and the shock troops are going to get pinned down by that MG42. So a losing situation there for Adadis. So right now, Neff in a commanding position. Victory point-wise, Adadis is down to 378, while Neff is holding steady at 437. So very comfortable position. Combat engineers for Adadis up north, just capturing territory and the victory point, trying to stop that drain. Right-hand side, conscripts capturing the fuel, so he'll start to get a little bit more income. And Adadis is 2 ticks of fuel away from being able to get himself that T70. Let's see if that is exactly what he's going for. I would assume. And we're now at 55 fuel. He doesn't have enough manpower yet. There he goes. Is he going to pop that? Well, nothing yet so far. Is he actually wanting to wait for a T-34? I'm not entirely sure I agree with that, but oh well. Tier 3, however, coming up for SturmTigerNeff, so if a T-70 was going to come out, which it is actually, that's actually going to close the window rather quickly to that T-70, but the T-70 is coming up right now, so it has a little bit before it becomes countered. So if Adadis is very aggressive with it, you know, could pan out, could potentially catch that that half-track. It is getting very close to Veterancy 2, however, so if that Veterancy hits, that half-track is not gonna die. And down goes the shock troop for Adadis on the retreat in the center of the map, which is quite unfortunate for Adadis. And, well, he is now essentially screwed. T-70 does hit the field. We'll see if it, you know, works, but somehow I doubt it. Conscripts are getting burned alive by that half-track. Half-track an inch, or well, not an inch, a sliver away from getting his tier 2. Even if the T-70 hits it, I think it's actually going to give it tier Vet 2, which means it's going to be a pain in the ass to take down. Tier 3 already completed for Neff. He isn't producing anything from it just yet. T-70 hitting the field, taking some shots at the church, and Neff instantly moving his half-track away. Very smart move by him. So the T-70 is getting kept at bay by those Grens. The Grens threatening to throw a Faust at it. T-70 shooting them in the face. They do actually get into range. No, they actually stopped, and we're not able to throw the Faust off. So the T-70 continues to shoot, but not capable of killing them. The half-track still holding position back there, and we now have a Panzer IV being produced for Neff, which means that is going to be it for the T-70. Oh, very nice use of incendiary rounds on that MG42, actually doing incredible damage to that T-70. I didn't actually know that the MG42 did that much damage to a T-70. I mean, obviously you can expect scout cars and maybe the half-track, you know, to die to it very quickly. But wow, that T-70 took a beating. Look at it. It's at about 25% health. Pios and Grants pushing forward, getting shot at by that T-70. T-70 doing a lot on them. Has actually done quite a bit. 6 kills and a building destroyed. But with the Panzer IV coming onto the field by Neff, you know, it's going to be short-lived. One thing to mention, again, like I said, Panzer IV being the safe choice, a Flak Panzer is just as capable, if not more, of taking down a T-70. I mean, obviously the Panzer IV two-shots a T-70, so I guess you could say that it's way more effective. But the Flak Panzer can just chase it down and shoot it as it moves and kill it off very quickly, while at the same time clearing out the AT gun by circle strafing it and getting rid of all the infantry for Adadis very quickly. So, like I said, I get it. It's a tournament. You want to go the safe route, but you know, sometimes you got to go big or go home, right? So, I do hope that I see more Flak Panzers being used in the near future, because right now Neff has dominated and controlled the fuel points for the entire game. for the most part, I guess. Which means, you know, that Adadis is nowhere near to being able to get anything to counter that Flak Panther. But whatever. Anyways, Grants push forward, throw off a Faust on the T-70, so I think the Panzer IV is going to go in for the kill on the T-70. AT gun did get some shots off on the Panzer IV, getting it down to about 50% health, but the T-70 is now crippled and in a bad position, going to get shot by that Panzer IV, out of control, and there it goes, going to crash on the other side of the river. AT gun does turn around, trying to take some shots at the Panzer IV, and actually nails it very nicely, bringing it down to about 20% health, but makes it back out and should be fine. There are Pyos nearby which can repair it, and the conscripts are getting burned alive and shot at by the MG42. Half-track actually pushes forward, the AT gun is not set up to defend, and a Vet 2 conscript squad barely makes it alive at one man with a sliver of health. So not going very well for Adadis. He is now down to 218 points, managed to cap the victory point on the left-hand side, again with some conscripts. So stopping that bleed, well, the speed of the bleed is what I'm trying to say. But, yeah, not going very well for him. Flak Panzer now getting produced for Neff, so at least I can applaud him on that. He didn't go for another Panzer IV, which, again, is just a safe route. Flak Panzer will do a lot against the infantry of Adadis, and like I said, it is way more competent and capable of clearing out the AT gun if it is left alone, which it currently is. I mean, it does have a combat engineer nearby, but there's only one conscript squad which is a little bit further away and could get engaged in another fight, so it's an opportunity there. So, Chapter pushing forward, gonna run into that Panzer IV. The Panzer IV taking some shots at them. The Pyos actually taking a nade to the face, end up losing two of them, their men. Down to one man with the flamethrower, running away, actually ends up having to retreat. So the Panzer IV is going to be left unrepaired, down to about half health. But the Chop troops do get taken out by the Flamethrower Half-Track. Flamethrower Half-Track now with better C2. Takes an 18-8 to the face, a little bit of damage, but nothing that it can't really shake off. One man left on that conscript squad, barely makes it alive. Half-Track takes a nasty shot by the AT gun, but with its veteran C2, it's still at about half health. Well, actually less, let's say about 30% health. But yeah, I mean, it stays alive because it has veterancy. Veterancy 2 now on the MG42 for Neff, so pretty effective MG42. Now has increased armor, and on top of that, well, it has the ability to throw those incendiary armor-piercing rounds, which, as we saw, did a lot of damage to that T-70. Flak Panzer for Neff going on the... no? Huh, interesting. I would have assumed he was going to send it over here to try to catch, you know, whoever was capping this territory, you know, out of position, but she decides to just stop it around here.
That's the last one.
This is the, artillery field officer over here on the right-hand side. Flak Panzer now actually running into those conscripts because the conscript ran into its arc of fire. Flak Panzer continues to pursue. Can he actually get the kill? Will take some shots at the retreating conscripts. Maybe taking out one more. Yeah, did take him out, but with this giant hay bale in the way, they managed to mask themselves and shot block it to stay alive. MG42 pushes forward and catches a conscript out in the open. The other conscript squad does Ura past its arc of fire and was going to throw a Molotov, but nice cancel there. Nice cancel there by Adadis because the MG42 was already packing up, and we now see a... what is it? A strafing run coming down by Neff. Actually pins down the other conscript squad, forcing it off. The other one is still suppressed, running away. Oh, interesting. It's suppressed while retreating. I think that might be a glitch. I'm not sure if that's actually going to get corrected or an intended feature. I'm pretty sure it's a glitch. But yeah, the conscripts are retreating, but they're suppressed because of the strafing run. So they're not able to... Wow, did they actually stay on the field and break their retreat order? Oh, they're pinning down again, so they need to retreat once again. But oh well. Anyways, T-34 now on the field for Adadis. It is really pretty much the only thing he can do. T-34 is okay. It can counter that Flak Panzer effectively, and if used properly, can also take down that Panzer IV. It needs a little bit of help to do so, but you know, he can do it. And the strafing run is still loitering around. There is nothing on the field right now for Adadis to take it down with, so he's gonna have to suck it up. Yeah, that's what I thought. And probably shouldn't stay around here considering that the plane is loitering. It acquired target on the combat engineers, and the combat engineers ended up getting shot down by the plane. So, Neff, like I said, in a commanding position, has pretty much the entire map captured. There's a little bit of a sector here on the left-hand side, which apparently he's allowing to remain captured, but, well, his infantry is only now heading back into the field, taking position in houses, moving back out, and we now see a second Panzer IV getting produced for Neff. He has the Opel Blitz. The half-track is still on the field. Pio's getting back on the field to start getting repairs going. So, yeah, I mean, because of the fact that the Pios had to retreat, I suppose, is the reason he isn't as aggressive. His Panzer IV did finally get repaired. And with the second Panzer IV hitting the field in a little while, he will have his opportunity to do a big push. T-34 pushes across the river a little bit, risking itself considering it has a damaged engine, needs to get repairs going rather quickly. But Adadis has not rebuilt his combat engineers, so that T-34 is going to be a slow-moving thing. However, oh, I forgot about that. He does have the, what did we call it? The shock motor heavy tactics, which actually give conscripts the repair kit. So that's nice. He uses the conscripts now to repair the T-34. T-34 now back to full strength. And is heading into the map in a better position, trying to see what it can catch. There is a Flak Panzer up there that took an 18-8, so he is going for that. It is out of position, so that is the optimal choice. Very nice move there by Adadis. More strafing runs going down by Neff in the center. Gets some pin down on this conscript, which is also getting shot by that MG42. More conscripts pushing into the center. And we see the Panzer IV trying to go to save his Flak Panzer. Gets 18-8'd, and that is actually heavy engine damage. Very nice crit there. So the Panzer IV is in a very tough spot. Flak Panzer taking some shots at the T-34, doing a lot of damage to it, but the T-34 will outgun it and should be able to finish it off. It actually misses on the shot, so T-34 whiffs it. Flak Panzer moves away, but should be able to get killed, and there it goes. Engine gets damaged on the T-34. T-34 needs to back off. The Panzer IV ended up getting taken out. There is the AT gun nearby. There we go. Took some shots at the Flak Panzer and killed it off. Very nice. Center map. Conscripts getting battered by those strafing runs. Pinned down currently, having to move away. There is the second Panzer IV on the field now for Neff. T-34 has a damaged engine, so it will not be able to escape and will get killed off by this Panzer IV. Panzer IV will take some shots by the AT gun, so the Panzer IV will not get out of this unscathed. Could actually even get taken out. AT gun is veteran C3, giving it incredible weapon damage. Did you see that shot? It took out half the health of that Panzer IV in one shot. But unfortunately, unfortunately the Panzer IV is out of the sight range or view range, whatever, of the AT gun, so it will make it out alive, and it took down that T-34. So a very nice attempt there by Adadis. However, he is now triple capped and has pretty much nothing on the field. And he is now down to 55 points, so I believe this is going to go down to the victory points, and there is nothing that Neff can do about it. He has a artillery field officer taking position in this house, which really only grants it some view range, I suppose. Not going to do a lot with that artillery field officer there. Half-track in the center. More infantry just taking position all over the place, defending. We have MG42s all over the place. And yeah, Chakra's trying to push to the north, but there is a Panzer IV there defending with a flamethrower equipped Pio there for support. And more Pios moving in, down to 28 points, down to 25. So yeah, this is pretty much it. AT gun gonna get cleared out by the Vet 2 half-track. The AT gun trying to turn around. Will actually get a shot off at the half-track. Yeah, very nice shot. But even with its incredible veterancy, the veterancy 2 of the half-track absorbs that shot quite effectively and only takes about half damage, which is kind of ridiculous considering that the Panzer IV took half damage, but it didn't have veterancy, so you know, it is the difference there that you have to take into account. Down to 4 points, 2 more ticks should do it. Conscripts pushing forward, trying to get an 18-8 off before the game ends, and the 18-8 does actually land, but the points stick out, and the game is over. So, very nice game. I gotta say, very well played by both. I mean, Adadis obviously lost, but I mean, he was doing pretty well. And yeah, very nice play by Neff. Ended up dominating and got himself a nice victory. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you can, considering the comment section has changed for YouTube, and it's rather weird now, but, well, I'm sure you all know about that. Anyways, again, if you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.